Hello and welcome to this edition of ReTHINK India Roundup. Today we will be talking about the performance of the various net banking consoles of the various PSUs and the private banks in India. It's very interesting. After the digital era, we are all very keen to know the performance of the various banks. What better than the performance of their net banking consoles? The expert team at ReTHINK India went deeper into the analytics of the loading times of the various net banking consoles of the various public sector and the PSU banks in the country. What we came out is a 5-segment classification whereby there are 16 banks which are in the very fast loading times category, another deck which is at a fast loading times category, then we have average speed net banking consoles, then we have slow net banking consoles, and then very slow net banking consoles. We will be covering all of them in a couple of episodes out here. So what we went is, if you see most of the banks, especially the PSU banks, have a different URL for their net banking consoles. The private bankers' net banking consoles are integrated with their landing URL itself. So this is a bit of a design consideration in the PSU bankers, where mostly the landing site of the bank and the site for the net banking are quite different. They have different URLs they are working with. Maybe in times to come they might be integrating it into an integrated whole, so that one online image, one online identity is there for each of the banks. So today in this episode we will be talking about the very fast net banking consoles of the Indian bankers. Now interestingly, you will find that PSU bankers have taken a lead over the private bankers as when it comes to the loading times, and this is probably a very fair deal when Bheem, the mace of Bhima, is knocking out a lot of private players in a big way. So PSU performance in the speed part of it is really ranging very high. So we would take the list from I would say from back to top, just to create the elation part of it. The infographics have been in the social media for quite a long time. At number 16th, the 16th very fast net banking console is of Canara Bank. Now Canara Bank, the net banking URL for Canara Bank is canarabank.in, while its corporate website is canarabank.com. Now if you go into it, its loading time is 0.924 seconds, and 81% of the sites are slower than the canarabank.in. So this is analytics we have taken it from the Alexa web ranking tool, which gives the loading times of the various bankers out there. So this is the analytical tool we have chosen out there. At number 15 in the category of very fast net banking consoles, we have got State Bank of Hyderabad. So State Bank of Hyderabad is at number 15th. It's the 15th very fast net banking console with a loading time of 0.895 seconds. And 82% of the sites across the globe are slower than the onlinesbh.com. Now onlinesbh.com, the corporate website is sbhyde.com. So there is a difference between the main corporate website and the net banking console out there. At number 14th, the 14th very fast net banking console is of DCB Bank, whose website dcbbank.com. Its loading time is a bit faster. It's 0.882 seconds, and 82% of the sites are slower than DCB Bank. At number 13 we have IDBI Bank with its net banking console hosted at idbi.com. It has a loading time of 0.878 seconds, and 83% of the sites are slower than idbibank.com. At number 12 we have another PSU bank, Central Bank of India, whose net banking console hosted at centralbank.net.in. It has a loading time of 0.837 seconds, and 84% of the sites are slower than centralbank.net.in. State Bank of Mysore comes at 11th very fast net banking console in India. Its website onlinesbm.com is at number 11th when it comes to loading time. It loads in around 0.827 seconds and 85% of the sites are slower than State Bank of Mysore's net banking console. Kotak Mahindra, the ubiquitous Kona Kona Kotak jingle we all hear across, is at number 10 when it comes to very fast net banking consoles. Kotak Bank has a loading time of 0.805 seconds and its website kotak.com, it's 85% of the sites in the World Wide Web are slower than kotak.com. Bank of India comes at the numeral 9th position in this whole ranking, with a loading time of 0.805. It's almost at par. Kotak and Bank of India, just because it was a PSU bank, it just went a bit higher side. And 85% of the sites are slower than Bank of India. Its net banking console is hosted at starconnectcbs.bankofindia.com. At number 8, the 8th very fast net banking console comes from HDFC Bank. HDFC Bank has been a pioneer in banking, using banking technology in a big way, but it comes at 8th position with a loading time of 0.797 seconds, and 86% of the websites in the web space are slower than hdfcbank.com. Bandhan Bank, the latest entry into the Indian banking space, it is a step higher than HDFC Bank. Maybe they have invested better in their technological confines. So they have a loading time of 0.783 seconds and 86% of the sites are slower than bandhanbankonline.com. So we move forward. Corporation Bank of India, it's at the rank 6th in terms of loading times of its net banking console, which is hosted at corpretail.com. Corpretail.com loads in around 0.751 seconds and 87% of those sites in the World Wide Web are slower than corpretail.com. We have at number 5th Allahabad Bank, its online console at allbankonline.in. It loads in around 0.728 seconds and 88% of the sites are slower than Allahabad Bank. So much so far. At number 4 we have Union Bank of India and its net banking console hosted at unionbankonline.co.in loads in around 0.71 seconds and 89% of the websites are slower than Union Bank of India. At number 3 we have the Bank of Maharashtra, which loads in around 0.673 seconds. The mahaconnect.in is their net banking console hosted on this URL. And at number 2 we have City Union Bank Limited. Their online console at onlinecub.net loads in a staggering 0.538 seconds in a very fast category, and 94% of the websites are slower than onlinecub.net. So it's in the top 6 percentile over there. And numero uno, the fastest net banking console amongst the Indian banks is the Indian Bank. Its net banking console at indianbank.net.in, it loads in a phenomenal 0.493 seconds and 95% of the websites across the World Wide Web are slower than Indian Bank out there. So there's a lot of number crunching out here, but what it signifies is, one, PSU bankers are deterministically better in terms of loading times more than the private bankers. So this is something very, very illuminating, that somehow the direction of digital investments which is going across in the PSU banks is of a real higher order. Maybe the look and feel and the various other spectrums, I think the private banks, the public sector bankers are doing a better job than the private sector banks. This is a very, I would would say, a neck and neck kind of analysis. We are going deeper into it and also curating a larger digital payments ecosystem which every banker has strategized. So around that, we are convening a digital payments roundtable on the forthcoming International Women's Day, March 8th at New Delhi, where a select set of these bankers would be conferred upon the Digital Payments Ecosystem Awards. In the next episode of ReTHINK India Roundup, we would be illumining you about the fast net banking consoles, the average speed net banking consoles, the slow net banking consoles, and the very slow net banking consoles. This is nothing of a linear ranking kind of a thing. It is just a kind of an analysis to help the CTOs all across that where do they stand up in the whole packing order. So maybe they might work upon increasing the loading times of their particular net banking. So this was just statistics available in the public domain. So this is just a representative truth we have tried to bring about so that the digital payment ecosystem of the entire nation becomes the glory best over there. So thanks a lot for your patient hearing. We'll be back again with yet another exciting episode of ReTHINK India Roundup. Till then, goodbye.